Okay, sorry, I was stuck with my controls. So thank you, Ashokji, and thanks, Masters, joining and making it a group meditation and group session. So we will continue our journey uh, on Soul Plan. We will recap what we went through last week so that in case those who missed, they will be able to kind of start, and then we will continue with our topic for today. So let me share my screen. Okay, so in the journey of Soul Plan, we will see what it is, what it means, how it works, and how it could be really useful for us to be happy. Doesn't matter what the environment is around us or the situation around us. It is based on Your Soul's Gift, the book from Robert Schwartz. And Rob has also a third book now. So he's a great authority on this topic. And the more you get into this, you can get into more subtopics. So we talked about goal and rewards of true healing. What does it mean? What should be our goal and what should be the reward? So we are not looking for a momentary goal or momentary reward in the sense that, okay, I want something for today or this week. No, you want for a long term. You want for the soul level. That means you want something that lasts long. So you will feel joyous, excited, true blissful feeling. And you won't even remember last time when did you feel depressed or sad. You will increase your frequency and you will be in touch with your soul. Now, it is funny in a way that in the human incarnation, we love through suffering. Now, everybody would wish that if we could love, we could be feeling of oneness, we could be, in the blissfulness, and then we are learning rather than learning through suffering. So this is what the true reality is. And if you want to move beyond this, then we need to understand. And yes, you can learn, you can reduce the suffering, if not fully eliminating it. For that, you have to understand the process, what is happening, why it is happening. So when you can feel negative emotion, but you don't act on it, that is a great moment because now your healing is taking place. We talk about forgiveness, we talk about your own energy to be raised. These are, you can say, the check and balances. That, okay, you are in a situation, but you're not reacting to it. So what is our aim? Our aim is to increase self-love. Now, each one of us, during our soul plan, we pick, of course, minimum one emotion that we want to learn in this incarnation. Some soul, they plan two, and some really brave soul may pick 3 different emotions in one lifetime to be learned. But one common theme is certainly self-love. We want to increase, you may call it self-esteem, self-confidence, whichever way we look at it. But self-love is a very big thing. Second is emotional independence. This is very critical. Looking to you as the primary source of your well-being. So everyone should look at the whole, our aim that, okay, well-being and I'm happy and excited and blissful. Only you can make it. So don't try to look at someone else, doesn't matter who that person is, to come and help you to make things for you. Things can go right, things can go wherever, but ultimately it is you. The moment you achieve emotional independence, you will see yourself as the primary responsible person for your well-being. And these two things are extremely critical as a human incarnation. Why? Because we all have some false beliefs. What are false beliefs? These are our beliefs. From where they come, why they come, could be debatable. But it is so easy to believe that we are powerless. We feel that, oh, I cannot do this, or I cannot do that, or I will never be happy, I will never achieve this. These are all false beliefs. Now, our soul is trying to heal these false beliefs. So in the previous life, and not necessarily just the previous, it could be 2 lives prior or more, if you have a gap in the energy, which is coming from one or the other false belief, the soul will plan that, okay, let me fix this in this incarnation. It could be lack of self-respect. It could be, like we say, shame, pain, guilt, trauma, all those kind of things, low-level energy emotions. And somehow we believe that that's it. I'm this. Nobody loves me. I will never get success. Your guilt. Oh, why did I say this, or why did I do that? And whole life you will be in that guilt. So the soul knows the power, the true, we say Aham Brahmasmi. We all have what we say Ansh, that means a part of the universe inside us. That's the soul. And it's tremendously powerful, means there's nothing impossible that is not possible. That means we have the superpower. We all are supernatural. So you can create your own world, whatever that world as per you may be. So if you understand what could be your soul plan, what could be your pre-birth planning, then it's certainly possible. But connecting those dots is the most important thing. To understand what is indirectly, it will tell you the purpose of life. And in that, heart plays a very important role. Why? Because heart is basically based on emotion. Your brain is based on logic. Logic, you don't argue. It's analytical. 2 + 2 = 4. But for heart, it doesn't matter. Heart is based on emotion. You have to trust the feeling. You have to trust your heart. That doesn't mean you leave your brain behind, but when it comes to these kind of concept, you have to trust your heart. When you're trying to find out the true purpose of your life, your soul plan, heart plays a big role. Because ultimately your soul is trying to fill the gap. Gap of what? Emotions. You're trying to learn certain emotions. Emotions are linked to heart. And that is the... Through heart, you go to the brain, you go to all the parts of your body, for sure. So, as a human being in this incarnation, in our society, we can say this is good, this is bad, this is higher, this is lower, this is plus, this is minus, positive, negative, all kinds of things. But for soul, it is meaningless. For soul, it is just an experience. We are all being of light, bundle of energy, whichever way you want to take it. So, in meditation, we say dissolve your ego, dissolve your body. In other words, we say I'm not the mind, I'm not the body. Why are we doing this? Because you want to be just pure consciousness. That means you have to drop your ego, your identity. And that is first thing, most important thing, which will take you towards your, you can say, the healing. Now, what we are trying to do as a part of your soul plan is eradicate, the fear, the bias, the judgmental nature, the ego that we get. And what are you replacing it with? Unconditional love, feeling of compassion, feeling of oneness. Why? Because that is the true nature of the universe. Universe brings people and everything together, doesn't separate them. It is our human incarnation, our mind, that sometimes creates the gap. No, this is mine, this is yours, this is that, and creates the difference or the gap, or takes people away from each other. So we have to cross this bridge. All low-level energies like fear, very common. You have to go to the fearless. You have to go towards oneness, compassion, and all those positive qualities. Accept your flaws. You have to really embrace your flaws. And of course, your strength as well. Love the way you are, love who you are. The way you look, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you walk, the way you talk, everything about you. Remember, self-love. That is one of the most important things the soul is trying to learn. The more we work on it, the better we become, the higher our energy becomes. Higher the energy, the closer we get to the soul. Now, free will is a very important concept, because sometimes, we just say, okay, I understand. Everything will happen as planned. I have a soul plan. So why should I worry? If everything is predetermined, then I don't need to worry. But it is not so. What is free will? Yes, your pre-birth planning says that, say, event A will happen. After event A happens, then you go to event B, then C and D. But there is free will. That means plan is to go from event A to event B, but it's not a must. If certain things happen, you could go from A to, you can go to P, you can go to L, whatever. Basically, there are parallels. Option A, option B, 2, 3, 4. So never just give up and just sit that what can I do? Everything is pre-planned. No, it is pre-planned, but there is a free will. That means you can change. You have the power to influence. And that is the most important thing. So you don't have to experience all the suffering that may come in a worst case scenario. For example, we know that universe cannot talk to us in our language. So what universe will do? Universe will put challenge in your life. If you understand the very first time the challenge comes, which is little minor, you can avoid a bigger challenge later in your life if you fix whatever universe is trying to communicate to you to fix. So this way, you don't need to go through all the suffering, and you can reduce it. You can choose the outcome, and you can choose, that, okay, I'm going from this to this. You can overcome your challenges. You can overcome your suffering, which would have come. And this way you are healing and moving forward, making use of your challenges. Because universe never try to punish you. Universe is not there to look down at you and remind you of your weaknesses. No, it only brings your strength out. But sometimes our mindset is such that we get stuck at the negativity rather than the positivity. So universe is not trying to kill you, it's making you stronger. And that's the most important thing. So challenges, they run, opposite to your hopes and expectations. You say, I wish this happens, but you will say, oh my God, everything is going against my wish. So you will say, I have a very challenging life, because they are running counter to your hopes. But that's the point, because you have to learn. It's not about escaping. It's not about just becoming superhuman. But the point is to remember and bring out the humanness in you. Bring out, when we say Aham Brahmasmi, that means that part of the universe, the elements, the true significant characteristic of universe that each one of us have already, to bring those out. Understand with your heart rather than your head. As we said, heart means emotion. Head will just say logic. Okay. But heart will take you to a different direction, which will be based on your soul plan. Be grounded. You cannot cheat yourself. You know the truth. And use your heart to find the direction. So when we are in any great challenge, stressor, or some kind of big event going on, yeah, it could be very challenging, and you may seems to be losing total, like the situation is going out of control. You may feel that nothing is going your way and you're a loser and all those things. You may be confused. You feel powerless, that what can I do? But you have to remember, the challenges are bringing your strength out. So the moment you look at it that way, that each challenge is actually brings something, some learning, some healing. So then you're going to look at it totally differently. And that is a very important point one should never forget. It is never to hurt you, to bring something positive out of it. And please keep that in mind. And that will help you to move forward without getting, seriously into your negativity. It will bring it out and take you towards positivity. So the challenge will make you aware of the fear that was already inside you, so that now you address it. The fear comes to you so that you can, hug like a child, like a frightened child. If the sometime, you may love scary movies, but you see a child and totally shivering, and all you do is, put your arms around, give that comfort that, hey, don't worry. Similarly, when we are dealing with our challenges, sometimes we don't want to face it because we know this is our weakness, but the whole idea is to overcome it. So in a way, we are healing the inner child. It may be coming from previous birth. Who knows, 1 life, 2 life prior. So what you have to see is, what are the emotions we are trying to work on, and then keep moving forward. Emotions are just like, small children. They just need to be reassured, need to be cared. And then the challenges will bring the true strength of yours. But you have to take care of that child. And then you will see your strengths coming out multiple times. So if you look at your challenges like that, so you may feel challenges they are the best thing. You may thank your challenges because they are teaching you. They are the best teachers. You may thank the soul for putting it in your life, planning it that way, rather than saying, why I have picked up such a challenging life. No, thank yourself. Because every challenge is taking your soul to a higher and higher level, going towards nirvana. Keep your heart full of gratitude. Then it will be easier for you to understand the meaning, the purpose of challenges in your life. Once you understand, you will find peace in your heart, peace in you, inside you, for whatever experience you are having. And then you may be able to help others in the same situation. Because when you go through the crisis, your energy improves, your energy increases, your frequency, the whole human energy field improves. So in this way, you are totally working on your consciousness, you're increasing your energy, changing your level, and you are fulfilling your soul's mission. So dear friends, we'll continue from here. And now let's touch the topic, which is karma. Now, this is a very mystic topic, and different people may have a different take on it. What we will talk about here is exactly as per Rob's view. So what is karma? There are two elements of it. So let's understand both sides. First, balancing of karma. And the second one is releasing. So what is balancing of karma means? Suppose in one life, you're a very rich person, you are donating money. So you have experienced wealth, abundance, but you may have not experienced lack. So in the next life, you may take birth as a beggar. Now, you have nothing to give to others. You are in fact receiving, you are begging. Now you have balanced. You have experienced both sides of the emotion, receiving and giving. Now, another could be health. In one life, you may be a caregiver, providing care to a loved ones. In the other life, you may have some sickness or some mental, emotional, psychosomatic, some issue that someone is taking care of you. So now you are receiving care. And this is what balance of karma means. So this way, not only you experience giving, you also experience receiving. Now it is balanced. Now the question you may ask is, okay, it is balanced means it is gone from your life for next incarnation, that is done deal? May not be. You have to release the karma. If you do not release the karma, it may come back again. And you don't want to keep repeating the same topic. You want to learn different topics in different incarnations so that you can move towards your nirvana. So what does it mean? Releasing karma is when the underlying cause, the original imbalance, that is resolved. So unless you heal the underlying cause, you may keep creating new karmas. So you balance and then you again go through the different balancing cycle and then another balance because you're not releasing it. For example, we talked about giving money, receiving money, donating money, begging for money. So suppose you're a wealthy person, but you are donating the money out of fear. You are fearful that you may lose your money if you don't donate, or it could be some other fear. It's a very low level energy emotion. That's not good. So you have to overcome the fear. Now, if you're donating without any fear, you're donating because it's a call of your heart. Now the moment you balance, this will be gone because you have released the karma. So underlying cause is very critical. Similarly, doesn't matter what the topic is, whether it is health means giving care, receiving care, or any other form. In one life, you may experience a very good health. In other life, you may be having a lot of issues. Depends. So you will balance it and you have to release it. That means you have to understand what could be the underlying cause. If we understand this, then it will be very easy to understand what's happening in your life. You may say, my neighbor is really, the best neighbor, or sometimes you may say, my neighbor, they're the worst one. Depends. You can have colleagues, you can have friends, all kinds of. So you have to remember, it's just balancing and releasing. So look for that underlying cause. What could be the underlying cause? What is it? And only you can do that, because you cannot ask someone else to tell you why you are doing this. Only you can look inside you. So when we look at healing, the basic fundamental is that there is some gap, some energies that are left unresolved from the prior life. So that's why we have taken rebirth. We have a soul plan to fix some of those. So healing from what? It could be, sometimes we have a big issue of judgmental. We can have big ego, anger. You may be the person who's always blaming others, or you're blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong. Both are wrong. You are full of guilt. Everything, creates, and you have that guilt. And all kinds of these negative emotions. Sometimes we are our worst enemy because of that guilt, shame, pain, trauma, and all those things. And then we blame ourselves. If you are doing that, now it's a new candidate to be healed. All these things will require healing one time or the other. So you are already working on prior life issues, and then you are creating a new one to be filled later. In this life or the next, we don't know. So you can say, how does healing take place? So for example, in one particular case, it's a real case from the book. So as a soul plan, the person planned the fear that he would carry in the body to express as alcoholism. Now, alcoholism is not something you would like to plan. Why would you want the whole day you are consuming alcohol, you're not in your senses, and what kind of life would that be? So based on certain fear, the soul picked one. Why? Because alcoholism will create the emotional pain. And that emotional pain was driving that person towards spirituality, to discover himself. And his spirituality was actually healing the fear he carried into the body. So you see, that idea was to heal the fear, but you cannot heal directly. So the path the soul selected was to first get into alcoholism, which will create pain. And at one time, the pain will be so much, it will take you towards spirituality, and that spirituality experience will bring you out of that fear. And that will be the healing. So you see, sometimes it may be simple to, that just to understand, but the way things happen could be complex, because it's not a straightforward thing that, okay, just go and take the pain out of the body. Another way which works extremely well is service to others. You can consider it as an accelerated path of spiritual evolution. So when you are helping others, it is really one of the finest, best way to, for your own spiritual evolution. Remember, what you give, you receive. What you teach, you learn. In fact, they say best way to learn something is to teach someone that. So sometimes we are just focused on ourselves. Excessively means obsession kind of thing. Even if it is for the right reason, even if it is a spiritual topic, but if you are so much excessively focused on yourself, it may not be a good thing. Because again, what you're doing is just me, I. We have to look for oneness, means compassion, and look broader means we and not just I. So when you plan to be service, you're ready and you're doing the service to others. And that is how you are, you can say, doing your evolution. Now you are helping the whole planet, the energy, not just your energy, but the global energy to go up. And this is one of the finest way that we can live life, by helping others. So dear friends, whatever you can volunteer, whatever you know, you can start sharing your wisdom with others. Whatever level up to, you can try that. For soul, we can consider it in 3 layers. The first, which is the spirit self, the second one, the soul self, and third one is the earthly personality or physical body, you may say. So the personality, which is the physical body, that's very easy. Generally, we get stuck with our body. We cannot think of beyond this. And then the soul self, which is realm of becoming, it evolves through your experience. So as you are working, as you are doing, it becomes your second nature. That's your soul, your energy body. And the spirit self, which is, you can say, when we say Aham Brahmasmi, because you are a part of the universe, means you may call it God, you may call it the whole universe, energy, whichever way you want to put it. That is the ultimate truth. So now you may say, if that is the ultimate truth, why would the spirit self or the universe, the energy, will kind of guide you to plan a life with all kind of issues? It could be mental, emotional, physical. It could be financial. It could be relationship related. Some people, they have lots of friends and family. Some people have none. They cannot have any, they cannot be in any relationship. Everything is for learning, but why would you choose such a life? Again, remember, we learn through suffering. The spirit is unlimited, like the powers, the capabilities, everything is unlimited. So, if we are reincarnating, we are doing that for a specific experience. So that is why there is no limit on the soul. Because the moment you limit, that goes against the nature of the spirit. Because we say, Aham Brahmasmi, everything is possible because you have the same power as universe. So that means soul cannot be limited. It is, you can pick any kind of experience, any kind of emotion, because there is nothing which the soul cannot do. So in a way, the spirit self is allowing the soul self that yes, you can overcome any emotion, you can pick whatever you want. Doesn't matter what kind of low level emotion, energy you want to work on, shame, gain, all kind of guilt, trauma, Sometimes you have accidents. You may not be directly involved, but you may be just witnessing an accident and you get a shock. Now you need to heal that, the energy you are stuck with or the gap. Now, along with it, we have the ignorance and false belief, like we talked before. What are false belief? Is just your belief. No matter right or wrong, it's just yours. Ignorance includes false belief. And you don't know what you don't know. So what happens is, very commonly we feel that, oh, I am unworthy. It could be relationship, it could be whatever. We feel I'm powerless. I'm alone. I will never have love in my life. Nothing good can happen in my life. Life is all suffering. All those kind of false belief, not only we get into, we love to live with them. And again, like we talked about before in quantum physics, your body gets addicted to those hormones and those emotions, those chemicals. So to overcome, you have to be consistent for a period of time so that the body now gets used to the new chemicals, positive chemicals. So based on what false belief you are working on, you will attract the life circumstances, things will happen in a way which will help you overcoming this, learning this. It is your plan. Sometimes we feel why I'm like this, why I'm super negative, why I'm this. Don't worry, this is your plan, but with a purpose, with a reasoning. Because as you have inside, you will have outside. And you will see this very well. You keep thinking about certain things and life will throw the same thing at you. And then you'll wonder why everything is going wrong with you, because whole day you are in those negative thoughts. So your inner world will be same as your outer world. In other way, you can say your outer world will be same as your inner world, because the whole day you are thinking. Everything you talk negative. Always say things will go wrong. Your studies, your interview, your job, your business. And then you say, that's what is happening, because your reflection or energy, the human energy field that you have is all full of negativity. So it is not just a question of having intention and awareness. You have to get rid of that false belief. Because at one side you will say your intention or your affirmation is, say, I want a new car. But the whole day you keep saying, oh, I will never get a new car. I will never get promotion. I will never get success, blah, blah, blah. So when you are into those negative thoughts, whole day you are reflecting and releasing that energy that full of negativity. And life will throw you whatever you are radiating or you are transmitting that energy. So it's very important we overcome our false belief. And when you look into that, you will find one. So let's take it as a homework for this week. Please identify at least one or two false beliefs that you may have. All you have to do is just sit quietly. You may close your eyes and identify a couple of them. All you have to do is rewind your memory for a couple of days, what you think, what kind of thoughts you are getting, and you will find it very easily. So if you want to have positive experience, you have to first feel worthy. You have to feel you can do it. You will have success. Life is full of love, joy, not the other way around. You are safe. You are in abundance. So the more and more you are repeating these things, your false belief will be transformed. You cannot just force them. You cannot force yourself and say, tomorrow you should not think these 4 items. It won't work. You cannot press, you cannot force, but by repeated feeling and then feeling the emotions, yes, you can overcome that. But don't try to force it. The more you resist, it persists. So you have to change your feeling, and then your emotions will change. The chemicals inside the body will change, and you will see your false beliefs are gone. Then you'll start feeling worthy, powerful, and all those, abundance and compassion and elevated emotions will come naturally to you. You will have the connectivity with your own soul, with the spirit guides, the universe, whichever way you want to take it. And then you will feel the joy, the fun in life. So remember, don't try to push, don't try to be harsh on you. You have to deal with all these false beliefs at the emotional level, feeling level. Then you can release them. Don't try to be the boss, become friend. So, dear masters, this is for today. So we will stop here. We will certainly continue in the next session, bit by bit, our journey towards soul plan. And if any one of you have any question about what we covered today, either recap or what we covered, please feel free to ask. And remember, small homework for this week, try to identify a couple of false beliefs and what you think you have. So this way, in our journey, you will be healing yourself, you will be identifying it and walking towards your soul plan, rather than just, listening, understanding. Why not take extra benefit by it? So back to you, Ashokji, and please, masters, feel free to ask any question that you may have. Sure, Upendraji, please, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Namaskar, Gauraji. It's very nice, enlightening. I missed the first one, Soul Plan 1, but I think I'll catch up on that. My question is, I always believe that, destiny cannot be changed, but it can always be challenged. I think that aligns with what you are talking about. Even though there is a destiny or the program, the plan for you, and you can try to modify it, change it by working hard. And I think some of the principles you laid out in terms of, losing all the negative thoughts and gaining the confidence and loving yourself, and all those things play in. And so I think it's very valuable. I think that's just wanted to share with you, and I'm grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Upenji, sharing your thoughts. And yes, you're right. Because sometimes, we become our own bottleneck, and we are not ready to receive, or we become rigid, or, those are the things that you need to loosen up to learn, understand, and move forward. And the more you receive and you move towards your spiritual evolution, the more you learn, and then you can control your destiny. So, yes.
Thank you.
Sriniji, namaskar.
Unmute yourself, Sriniji.
Yeah. Namaste, Gauraji.
Namaskar.
Two questions, one on the recap and one on the subsequent slide. On the recap, the free will. You said the free will help us to overcome the fear and pain. As far as the soul plan is concerned. But does it alter the soul plan in a adverse way?
No, not in the adverse way. So universe is always trying to help us.
So
We are not.
what I mean is free will. Free will is it tempts you to do things that are not aligned with your soul plan. Is it not what is free will?
Free will is like a backup plan. So the soul may have planned that I will go from A to B to C to D. But if you reach B, suppose you had planned that at age 20, I will meet this person, and then your plan is to learn something. But if for whatever reason you learn that skill, that emotion already when you are, say, 15, now you don't have to wait 5 years just because your original plan was to meet someone who will teach you that. So the soul will say, okay, I've already gained. So now I will go for my option B. I will start right now learning something which I would have done, say, a little later. So it is always helping you to achieve more, not less. It will never take you in a negative way. It will only help you. And plus, what we say that this is a factor for which people should not think whatever has to happen, whatever has to happen will happen, then why should I worry? No, you do your part. And then you can change your destination. Why? Similarly, like rather than 20 years, if you learn something in 15, you gain 5 years. So this way, the free will concept help us because it's a backup of backup of backup. So we never run out of options.
Thank you. The other question is, in the example of alcoholism, one soul chooses alcoholism to overcome some fear. What kind of fears are those one chooses alcohol to overcome?
See, that's a great question, Shiniji, because what happens is depending on the energy gap coming from your previous birth, it could be any kind of fear. Because yes, fear is a very common element in most of us. But the reason for fear may be totally different for everyone. Someone could have the fear of height. Someone could have fear of water or drowning, or some people are afraid of, they cannot drive. They are like so fearful, they'll start shivering just by thinking that I have to drive, or things like those. So fear can come from multiple things. Fear could be of your finance, like losing money, or fear could be for life, that you are always afraid of, I'll get hurt or I will get sick. So it could really come from any side, any direction.
Can you give us an example in the spirit and soul, what you explained?
The 3 levels?
Yeah.
So basically what it means is to understand how the mechanism is working in a very simple 3 level. One is the physical body, which is number 3, which comes in this life and ends in this life. It's a very short duration. The second level is what we call the soul. And we say Atma Amara, means soul is forever. So you cannot create or destroy soul. Why? Soul is nothing but energy. So energy you cannot create or destroy. Energy or soul, whichever way we take it, we are reincarnating for our spiritual learning of emotions, which we can only learn when we come to human form because it's all full of emotions. So souls keep coming in human form, learn, but during learning, they may create some other gaps. So though you are moving in the right direction, you are creating some topics for next time. It could be karmas, which you have to balance. It could be emotions, whatever. The spirit self is what you can call God, you can call the universe, or whichever way one may take it as. That is the supreme. And we say we are part of it. So like we say, Aham Brahmasmi. So that is the 3 level scenario, whereas you have the supreme, depending on your faith and belief, you can call it by any name, then our soul, and then the physical body. Now, the ultimate truth is the universe or the God. We are part of it. We are trying to reach that level. That is the purpose of soul. But soul alone cannot do it. Like suppose if we have to fly from here to say LA, from Toronto to LA, I have to fly. I need that aeroplane to take me there or some vehicle to take me there. And that is the physical body. Soul knows, or as a passenger, I know I have to travel from point A to B, but how to reach there? And that's why we need the physical body. So physical body in itself doesn't have much significance because it is only one incarnation. But it is the mechanism which is a must for soul to learn. So that's why it is a very essential element.
Spirit helps us in achieving our plan, soul plan.
What happens is it's a soul family in which we have a group of other souls which are helping us in making our soul plan. And we take turns kind of. So there are spirit masters, you can say, part of the whole soul family. And as a concept, if you believe, then even in our dreams, we communicate with them. So they keep guiding us throughout our journey in this incarnation. Yes, we may not remember that, or we remember as a dream, but that is how the soul planning is done. It's called Council of Masters. So they will come, like if somebody does not just past life regression, but in between life regression. And Rob, the author we are talking about, in his session, if somebody does, then the way he does is, it is 4 steps. And the last step is you go to the Council of Masters. And then you will see those, your Council of Masters are there, and you can ask any question that, why did I do this, that, other, and they will answer. You planned this because of this. You planned that because of that. So this is how the whole mechanism works.
So in the same way, support mechanism, given channel and mediums are also there, right?
They are like, even Rob, you can say, is like one of them, because channel, medium, they are the people who can communicate, who can guide you, who can, take you and kind of put 2 together.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
So
you very much.
Welcome, Srinaji. I'm sure your questions will help a lot of many other people. So very great summarization you have helped me in doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes,
Vindhya,
Vindhya.
please.
Yeah. Hello, Gauraji. Thank you for continuing last time and this. I attended Robert Schwartz's session too, that you provided the link. So I have a couple of questions. One is what you were just saying, right, about we should use our free will. And I have a question of that. I was thinking flowing with the life, and yes, yeah, maybe I don't understand the soul plan right now, but I am aware there is a soul plan. So if I connect with, while doing meditation, I connect, and I do understand this is happening for a reason. So if I continue doing that without any interference from my side, meaning obstruct trying to stop it, basically. So if I accept whatever is happening and take it, I thought that should help. But you are saying, no, we should also do our part. Did you mean by doing our part, accept what's happening? Or did you mean actually try to find a faster path?
So I will clarify that statement of mine. What I mean by saying that, not abstracting, or the most important thing that sometimes people think, if everything is already written, if my soul plan is already there, why should I make any effort of anything? Then I should just sit at home. Some money should flow in. I should get my job letter at home. Why should I work hard and study and, run around like, applying and all that? So that's what it means. You cannot say that everything is written up So why should I even move, anything from point A to point B? Things should come to me. Then there is this concept of free will, because if you are in a denial mode, if you don't do your part, then you go to option B, option C, option D. So it is not a straight line. Depending on your action will depend whether you go to option A or B or C or D. So we do our bit means, like in your example, you are doing meditation, you are surrendering to the, say, universe, that is, yes, I accept. This is something that, okay, you are doing your part. You are continuing and you are connecting to the universe. You are not fighting with the universe. At the same time, a little bit more than that, if one can do, which is trying to understand what universe is trying to tell us. For example, universe cannot talk to us in our language. So it will give you certain challenges in your life. One scenario is, I have a challenge and I say, I surrender. I know it's a challenge and I'll take it. But a better scenario is that, yes, I accept, but let me learn what it is trying to teach me. Because if I understand what it is trying to teach me, I will learn that. Because I don't know what I don't know. If I don't know what this is trying to teach me, I may skip that learning. I may not learn. So what will happen? Now universe later on will bring a bigger challenge in my life to teach me the same thing. And if I still miss out of ignorance, it will put such a bigger event in my life that I have to stop and say, okay, now I have to deal with this. I cannot avoid. So if the first time we get a hint, we can somehow understand and act accordingly, we can avoid the suffering, because we don't need a bigger issue in our life. We understood only when it was very small. So for example, you sneeze, immediately you know, okay, in a cold weather, I went out without a cap. That's the reason. I fixed my problem. But if you don't, you keep doing the same. Now the sneeze may become cold, may become, then it will just grow. So that's what it means.
Okay, thank you. And then the free will, not free will, sorry, soul planning. I remember doing the meditation with Richard when he did the meditation there, and you approach each one and ask. It was a different experience for me. I don't know. I did see people and I did ask. I kind of have a little more clarity. I don't know if I did go through that process or it was something that I was trying to figure out by myself. But I did kind of understand why some people are in my life, for what role they are there. So the soul plan that we are making, is that done only pre-birth, like before, or does
Yes.
even through the life we also plan for next this thing?
It's pre-birth.
Okay.
It's pre-birth. So after your current life will end, there is a gap, then all the souls and the soul family, they will help you in preparing for the next incarnation. So there is a gap between two life. It's not like one life end and tomorrow I will take reincarnation. So there is a gap, and this is when this whole planning is done, so that soul is ready to come back and soul is very well aware what I want to learn.
Sure.
And you have to get agreement with other souls who will help you, who will be in your life in different roles. So that's the whole process.
Yeah, it has put totally new perspective with relations for me, because I feel like, even if we don't get along, there is a reason there. So I must have made a soul plan. Let me figure out what it is. I'm sure there's a lesson to learn. So I think it's a very different way of seeing relationships. So thank you. Thank you.
That is the best thing you have already said, which we would have talked about in a little later sessions. But this is the best, you can say, the outcome of this understanding, that now you will not hate people in your life. In fact, the people who are giving you tough time, you will love them because you requested them to come in your life and do this, because there is something for you to learn. You may not know what is it today, but you will figure it out.
Thank you. Thank you for guiding us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya.
Rajni, can you unmute him?
Thank you, sir. I have a comment and a question, but the comment you already explained whatever I wanted to share, but I will just add it. So I've been listening to this 1,000 Seeds of Joy. In that, they gave an example. You have soul plan, but you always have your free will to choose. So you always will have two paths: soul path and ego path. Sometimes if you are not ready, you may choose soul path. And then if you choose if you are not ready, you may choose ego path. If you choose ego path, you will be move away from the goal. And if you choose soul path, you will go towards the goal. But all souls, they will be enlightened at some point. So when is the question? So, and they gave an example in the book, like Karna, when Draupadi was derobed, he had a choice to stand up, and it was injustice was happening. He had a choice to stand up and at least say that whatever is happening is wrong. But he supported Duryodhana, and he chose ego path there. So the book says, if he had chosen the soul path at that moment, he would have enlightened right there. He was already ripe. He was already a matured soul, it seems. But later in the Kurukshetra, when his chariot broke and when things were all going other way for him, he totally surrendered to Krishna and he got enlightened at that moment. So it's just postponed because he chose the ego path when there was an opportunity. He postponed it little further. That was the comment. Even they were giving the example of Devadatta from Buddha's story. He chose ego path. He went with siddhis, and he always went against Buddha. And they say that even today he's not enlightened. He's in some limbo. So that's my learning from that book. And my question is, when there is suffering, it's very clear when nothing works in your way and nothing is happening the way you want, you understand that universe is trying you to learn something. It's when nothing is working, that means you will stop doing what you're doing and you pause and think about it. And it's very clear that universe is telling you to learn something, but what it is, how do we find out what that we need to learn? What is the soul plan? How, any tips?
So Rajniji, thanks for sharing very nice thoughts and your question. And this will be a question we will be answering in the later sessions. And that is at least my hope, that each one of the masters on the call can make some use of it. So like the first question, that's the reason when I was saying about the homework, that if we can identify a couple of, if not more, what is your false belief? This is the first step towards your question, right? Very briefly, when you know the things are not going in your way, for example, we have to connect the dots and you will see a pattern. You will see, but we have to dig deep. We have to go a couple of levels down and see, okay, this person doing this with me, what is the emotion? Different people may be doing different things, but ultimately they may funnel down to something common as an emotion for you, for your soul to learn. So we will take one step at a time, but before the 8th session, I hope every one of you will be able to pinpoint something in your life which will be very clear without any workshop or anything. You will know, okay, this seems to be my soul plan. This seems to be the purpose of my life. But the starting point is these two. The first one as a question and the second one as a hint. What I just mentioned, that from whatever direction you are getting negativity, just connect the dot and please try to see what is the common link between them.
Okay, we'll try. Thank you.
And especially if something is repeating, anything which is repeating in your life, and anything that is repeating with a higher intensity. So I'm already giving you the future homeworks to all masters. I'm saying anything that is repeating in your life and increasing the intensity, that is the first thing you must identify. And that is the first thing you may want to work on, because that is clearly first indication.
When you say repeating, is it emotion or event,
for example,
or what?
It could be, it can come different ways. For example, say, you may find that, yes, somebody was like kids, they will say, oh, this kid is always, getting hurt. That's usual for kids. But someone can say, okay, I got hurt, I kind of, bruise, and yeah, luckily nothing happened. A year later, no, now I had a little serious accident, I broke my bone. And then the third year or fourth year, again, after 2 years, you see a much severe accident. So now accident is a common theme. Intensity is going up.
But what is the learning there? Driving lesson? I don't
No. You could get hurt on your driveway. You could get hurt by someone else, but that's.
But what is the lesson there? How to figure out the lesson?
And that's what we will see, because it depends on what's happening. Two people can have the same accident scenario, but their accident will be totally different. So we cannot generalize it. It depends on what is exactly happening. And that is why only you will be able to identify. It will be very difficult for someone else to identify, unless you have the whole detail.
Okay, so I will add one more example from the same book. Rama figured out the problem when Sita was kidnapped and he was in agony and he was not able to find where she is and all that. He went inside. He looked out for a longer time, but finally he also gave up and he surrendered to universe and he went inward, it seems. And then what he realized was he was obliging everybody. He doesn't want to give, he was being a good boy, like accepting whatever everyone asks him to do, he was doing without complaining. He thought it's a quality and he has to maintain it. But that is also ego, they're saying. You're trying to be a good person, like projecting yourself as a good person. That was his ego. So that was the main problem. And he worked on it, it seems, and things fall in place for him. So thank you. I want to give others a chance. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajniji. No, your questions always helps, and please, masters, when you are asking, you are actually helping others. So thanks for that.
Gauraji, can I add something to what Rajni was asking? With your
Absolutely.
permission.
Absolutely, Chanda sir.
Yeah. See, Rajni ji, you said, how will you recognize? Please remember, our communication with the universe, whatever it is in the form of thought, action, or experience. Right? So, your message could come through any of these three means. The scenario that you undergo will be what you have created for yourself. That's one in terms of learning. The second one is ego. Ego is always there because it is nothing but part of you. It is your inner voice. Are you going to listen to it and do the right thing? Or are you going to be basically, are you going to let it influence you, or are you going to influence it? That is the one that matters. So just as two inputs and guiding principles when it comes to our soul and soul plan and our execution and our experience, these two will be of very useful thumb rules. Yeah. Thanks, Gauravji. You can add to that in case you think I have made a mistake.
No, no way, sir. Absolutely not. You have, I think, given them the other side of the perspective and a way to think about it. Absolutely.
Yes, that's exactly true. It's always ego. All the problems, it can have 100 flavors, but ego is the problem.
No, ego is not the problem. Ego is your guide. Ego is not a problem. How you utilize the messages from the ego is your inner self. Ego is not a problem. I mean, if ego doesn't exist, you don't.
Different way.
No, it is not. Ego is your inner voice. Ego is yourself. Ego is your representation. Now, when it comes to, are you letting your personified image represent you, or are you being truthful to yourself? That is, are you letting your image, the one that you are projecting, is that being dictated? That means you are under the influence of the ego. But if you are conscious that what you are doing is wrong, you are utilizing your ego still. It is not that you are let the ego go. Ego is not bad. Please remember that. Ego is your force. Ego is yourself. Ego is your inner voice. How you utilize it depends upon how you are training your feeling and your emotion together. So just use that as a thumb rule.
I see ego as ego is differently. Ego,
No,
I
ego
thought
is not
ego
different.
is the I-ness, that independent. Everything is one. Everything is one, but we are like the soap bubbles with air. If air is the God, we are the soap bubbles. But I think the more we become independent, the walls become thick and it's hard to break. That's my understanding of ego.
Anyway,
Like,
please give me a call. I will explain ego threadbare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Otherwise, we will be consuming everybody's time.
Yeah. And the book I'm reading also, they said ego is wrong.
See, the book that you are reading, what you are reading there is what the author thinks about his perception. He is giving you his idea just as you are sharing your idea in this forum. Okay, don't go and take any book to be a gospel truth. A book will be the basis of the author's perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gauravji. I robbed you
Thank
of
you.
your answers.
Welcome, Chandraji. Jagruti ji, you can unmute yourself. And
Divine morning to all the divine souls. I won't take more than a couple of minutes, but as Chandra sir said that ego, the difference between ego and I would like to add one more word, self-respect. So as far as I know, I can give a few differentiating points between ego and self-respect. Something that is connected to the prayers and Shreyas Marg. So, sir, this will be my query because I too am confused a little bit. Can we say that ego belongs to the prayers mark? Because wherever there is ego, it seeks for attention, like what we say that The personality is like attention seeking. There is always argument and showiness. Like whatever small task I do or whatever I do, I'm always interested in showing to the society or to others. While in Shreyas Marg, we give respect to ourselves. That is a self-love, and whatever we do, whatever we serve to the society, there is no showiness. Like we don't expect anybody to appreciate us or to suppose I'm donating something or I'm serving something. I won't expect anybody to take out my photo or appreciating me in front of the community society. So, sir, please guide me in these two words, self-respect and ego. And one more thing, will it be better to always be in a seer mode? Like it is always told that we have to be like the Almighty Krishna. We shouldn't interfere, but we have to be in the seer mode, not in the doer mode. We just have to observe. We can learn a lot of things from just observing, and we can, by using our free will, we can also change our path, and we can stop inviting negative incidences, what we call as incoming impulses in the form of events, people, and things. So, so please guide me between in these two questions.
So, Jagdiji, thanks for your questions. And I will keep it with reference to the soul plan only because, you know, sometimes depending on which angle you look at it, there could be a different take because these are very complex topics. So no one definition may fit all kind of scenario. So from soul perspective, like we mentioned, simple thing, what we are trying to do is dissolve your ego, dissolve your body. In other words, you can say, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. Why? Because when we use the word problem or issues, whichever way we want to put it, they are coming from either mind or the body. Either mind is playing tricks with you or your body is playing tricks with you. So we say that, okay, if you can dissolve these two, that means you can overcome. You can be higher than them. That means you are never making your body zero nor your ego zero. That's not the aim. It's like you are the boss. You are driving the bus. You know, that kind of scenario. So you are the driver. You are deciding where to go, left or right, rather than, you know, kind of autopilot. So this is what we mean so that you can understand what universe is indicating you. If you are distracted too much, for example, sometime, say you are driving to work, it may be half an hour drive. And after reaching at your destination, we don't even know what happened in half an hour. We know, obviously, we were driving safe, but we were in our own thoughts. We have no idea. So once you are above your ego and the mind or body, now you are in the moment, you are in full control of what is happening or not. You will understand if universe is indicating something to you, and you can guide your life accordingly.
Exactly, sir. Yes. Because I have been living this, I started living such days since many months, and I've experienced a lot of changes in my life. Like previously, I was not aware of all this knowledge, and unwillingly, I used to invite unnecessary people and events in my life. But since this lockdown, I have learned a lot of wisdom lessons, and I have been also applying on myself. Like I got connected to the spiritual tablets team, and such many other sessions I've done in this lockdown. And I've seen a lot of improvement in my health, total health, what we say as mental, physical, financial, spiritual health, a lot of improvement. And this I will call it a technique or a style of living, that as we rise to higher vibrations with imbibing qualities like forgiveness, gratitude, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, and all this, we rise to such high vibrations that unneeded, bad, I will say this word, bad incoming impulses are automatically repelled. Like we move to a different higher plane, and everything happens on its own. Like the word miracle will be right, that the life becomes more interesting, more beautiful, and miraculous.
Absolutely.
So the
Absolutely.
simplest way to avoid unwanted incoming impulses will be just to rise to higher vibrations by imbibing qualities which I mentioned now. And this
Absolutely.
brings us in the seer mode. Like we don't have to do anything; everything happens on its own.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jagadiji, for sharing and taking part in the discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the solution and for confirming my thoughts on what I have started living since a few months. Thank you, sir.
Very welcome. Very welcome. Lakshmiji, please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Gaurav sir, and beautiful question and answer. So do I have one? I wish to know what or other way, while the body is vacating, the state of consciousness decides the further role of soul you want, like further life plan you want to set in. If it does affect, then what should be the state of consciousness or the best possible a person can bring into his consciousness state while or the body is vacating? Thank you, sir.
So, Lakshmiji, from my perspective and my understanding of specifically, again, I will say purely with respect to soul plan concept, I would say the soul planning is done after the soul has vacated the body. So not just after, but there is always a gap for soul to kind of be ready to plan for the next, because you can imagine it's not easy. So it's like, you have to get ready that, okay, not every soul is brave enough to incarnate as human form, because there is a lot of emotions involved. So it's a process which is, you can say, step by step, if we understand that way. But the planning starts after, not during or at the time of leaving the body.
If I can add something there, Gauravji.
Sure, Chandra.
See, Lakshmi ji, it's like this. You have come here with let us say you come with 1,000 rupees in your pocket. Towards the end, you are left with 600 rupees. Scenario 1. That means 400 rupees worth plan has not got executed. Now the second scenario. You came with 1,000 rupees, but you ended up spending 1,200. In both the cases, there is either a positive energy or a negative energy. As far as the universe is concerned, it doesn't care. You have taken energy from it, you have to balance the energy. But who is the creator of that balance, positive or negative? It is your soul, right? So this component of unexecuted, incomplete energy comes as a backlog to you. So when you are doing the next round of planning, this is the first thing you will take up, add it to your overall plan that you want to execute, and then start your new plan. So that is what affects you as you are vacating the body. Is it a completed this one, or is it an incomplete plan? If it is incomplete, there is incomplete energy that you are going back with. That becomes your lessons, either to heal or to learn when you are coming back. Only thing is, when something has been planned, it is incomplete. What we learned through Richard Bach's books is that it comes to you with a compound interest. That's the only component that you need to think about. But as far as the imbalance is concerned, when you are, so consciousness has got nothing to do there. Conscience may have, but not consciousness.
Okay. So I just wanted to know in terms of consciousness, because only one thing which we pick up through a soul attached is the consciousness.
No, it is the conscience. Consciousness is part of your brain, which is you are able to take cognizance of it only after you come to know, whereas the soul knows the whole thing. Consciousness is basically in terms of the conscious function. Correct. If you're referring to consciousness as part of the awareness, yes, I agree with you. So I don't know where you are referring.
Referring to awareness only, sir.
Okay, if it is awareness, it is still a balance, right? You have not completed your plan. So that extent of your awareness is incomplete, or you have gone overboard in terms of your awareness. Both of them are not acceptable. They have to be reset. So that's what happens in the soul planning. He has actually explained it very well in his Your Soul's Gift. If you read that book, you will get the complete answer.
Oh, thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you, Chandra.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Just on a funny side, I wanted to know, do you know your soul plan, sir?
Absolutely. I had no other go. But I had to when I was in a situation, as you all know. So once you are in that situation, you have to know to come out of it. And to come out of it gives you no choice but to learn. And that's where I got into these different concepts, because these concepts are such, they are not independent, they are interlinked. So
Beautiful.
just by understanding one concept does not really, I mean, it helps, don't take me wrong, but really to make a big impact, you have to see the big umbrella, that how they are interconnected. We say, okay, do pranayam. Okay, what it has to do with meditation? Oh, I forgot yoga. Well, you forgot the first step. You're jumping on third. So go back to first, right?
Yes.
So, but if someone says, I don't do anything, I just do meditation, good. Something is better than nothing. But if someone wants to debate, yoga comes first or meditation comes first, it could be a different topic.
Exactly.
So most of it is not a right or wrong question. Most of it is individually you. What is your level? What do you expect? What do you want out of it? And how soon you want out of it? I mean, you can walk, you will still reach 1,000 kilometers. But if you want in an hour, you better fly. Otherwise, there's no way in 1 hour you can walk. So this is the scenario.
Yes, yes. So one more question, Gaurav sir. So we make a soul plan and we come here and we have completely forgotten what our soul plan. Rarely few people know about it. That's a debatable question. But after coming here, do we have a choice that can I change my soul plan?
So first of all, there is a reason why we don't remember our soul plan, which is a good reason. Because if it is a open book exam, we all know what we do. You don't need to study. You just go open the book and write all the answers. So that is the reason why we don't remember our soul plan, which is a very good thing to have. You learn. Okay. Now, can we change after coming here? Well, that's where the free will is. So you are always playing around, but it is not that you came to go north and you want to go south. Well, you be in denial mode. You can try that. Universe will put bigger and bigger challenges in front of you and say, like GPS will tell you, make a U-turn, make a U-turn. But No one is forcing you. You can drive 1,000 kilometers before you make a U-turn.
Mm.
But now you have to come back 1,000 kilometers. You only wasting time.
Mm.
So
Couple of more rebirths.
exactly. And now you are adding the pain rather than the gain.
Mm.
So that is the, like, as a bigger picture for the soul plan. It's always to help you, not to hurt you.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, thank you, Gaurav sir. So yeah, thank you.
Very welcome. I think we can take this last one, Madhuji, and then we go for meditation.
Namaste, Gaurav sir. I'll make this very simple. So first question, following up on, I think, Jagruti ma'am's question, how much do we need to focus on what's my next incarnation soul plan is? Should we at all focus on it? Is it under our control?
Next incarnation, we won't know
Yeah.
in this incarnation. So absolutely no worry on that.
No worry
If
on
we
that.
can find out this incarnation.
Right. We are struggling to find what is in this incarnation. So, okay. The second, on the free will concept. So as you said, you should go back and look at some incidents that are, happening frequently or either intensity changing or not. Once you figure it out, if those incidents, if they're not working in your favor, you can use the free will to stop at least getting into those kind of situations. Is it?
See, the way I understand question, I think it may not be, because if something is going wrong, that means something we don't understand. Something we don't understand what universe is trying to tell us. So we have to dig and find out, decode what it is trying to. We cannot say because I don't understand this question, I can take it out of the question paper. No, we don't have a choice to set up the question paper. If you are giving an exam, you either pass or fail based on your answer, but you cannot say, I will take these questions out because I don't understand this. So when universe is trying to tell us something, if we don't understand, we may go in a different direction, but then universe will bring as a bigger abstraction in front of us or bigger indication that look into this. So that's what one should do. Look into the understanding. What is it that universe is trying to tell us?
So in other words, free will is not a magic wand. So if your experience is unfulfilled, whatever that experience that is part of your soul plan, even though you have the free will, that experience will continue to happen?
See, the thing is, these concepts can sometimes, when we take it theoretical, could become a bit confusing or too complicated. The best is to take it in a simplest form. That means life is telling me in steps, and if I'm, say, ahead of time, I have a choice. There could be many different scenarios when you will pick a choice, right? So best is not to worry about it, because then we overcomplicate as a human mind. Take it simply. There is a plan, but there is a backup plan also. Something happens because under certain situation, it's not that you are stuck and you go back to your school. No, you will continue, and there is a backup plan to support you, to help you. But you don't need to know what that backup plan is today. Live your life freely with you, with your, consciousness going towards your path. Make use of it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, Kaviji.
Yeah, masters, we'll take one more question. We are down with time, and we'll have meditation. Yeah, Madhu Garu, the last question.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Gaurav sir, for the wonderful session. I did put the question in the chat, but since it's not addressed, so I raised my hand. Thank you. My question is, sir, in our soul plan and free will, what is intuition? What is the part of intuition? And is it, does it play like the GPS that you're talking about? That's my question, sir.
So, Madhuji, thanks for the question. And intuition is part of your, the activation of pineal gland. And there are levels of activation, and some people have, it could be 1 to 4, any level. Now, the point is, how easy can you understand your soul plan, right? Or how activated is your pineal gland? So they could help each other, or they could be not totally different. Again, depends, because the spectrum is wide. So if you have activated activated pineal gland, yes, you will have intuition, you may see things, you may have some, different benefits, what you get from that activation. It may help you in guiding your life. But if you look at soul plan separately, independently, then again, if we understand how it works, it won't be difficult for anyone without any workshop, without anything. So to understand where life is trying to take you. Activate your heart is more important in my mind than activating pineal gland when it comes to soul plan. Your heart will take you there. Of course, pineal gland is a master. I mean, it can, boom, it can show you one image if you want, or one upgrade from the universe, for sure, it is more powerful. But what is in each one of us in our hand is full of elevated emotion. If your heart is full of elevated emotion, it will take you to a different dimension. Take out all the negativity, take out all the crap, what we say in general word, fill it with elevated emotion. It will do like wonders to you.
Wow, thank you, sir. And so intuition means activation of pineal gland, only then it happens, sir?
Well, it is a stage of it. If you define it theoretically, we have different kinds of intuitions. So again, theory can be
maybe in a different session.
debated.
We are going out of
how
topic.
You look at it. Yeah, but everyone may have a different, take or level. But it is part of that certainly attached to this. But when we come to soul plan, that's a different thing.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, Master. So I think we can have a quick 10 minutes meditation. So dear Masters, let's get ready for short meditation. Please relax. Close your eyes. Bring a gentle smile on your face. Relax the vagus nerve, which will reduce stress in your body. Take 3 deep breaths as comfortable to you. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, let's start breathing normally. Your normal, natural, soft breath. Start observing your breath. Feel it as you inhale and feel it as you exhale. It is absolutely okay to have some thoughts during meditation. So don't worry. If you are stuck with a thought, just leave it and start observing your breath again. Don't chase your thoughts. Don't punish yourself. With relaxed body, with mind relaxed, let's connect to our soul. our inner self. Dear masters, let's rub the palms together. Place the fingers on your eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Slowly, very slowly open your eyes and come to your normal self.
Thank you, Gaurav sir. Thank you very much. It's a very beautiful interactive session and I learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashokji.
So with that said, I would like to close the session as it's already been too long.